I can't wrap my head around how the things me and my husband find attractive are different. It makes me a childish incel. But for him, he's just a man. In the long run, this is super childish, but it's something that's gotten under my skin for I don't know how long now, and recent events have just resurfaced my annoyance. Me, 25F, and my husband, 26 Men's, have been together since I was around 15-16, and he was 16. Our relationship had always been very intimate, and in the beginning we were always very open. I vividly remember him sending me ecchi pictures of Harley Quinn when I would be at work, just because he thought I'd think it was cool and things in that vein. It never bothered me. I've seen it all. Hentai of every generic female anime video game character you could probably guess. All those X-ray backgrounds on his PC where when you moved the cursor you can see under their clothes. Stickers all over folders, desk, guitar, skateboards of fictional women spreading their legs, butts out, comically large boobs, so on and so forth. You get the picture. I've also seen all his normal pornographic interests. He's never been discreet. Search history, Reddit history, leaving Pornhub open on his phone, caught him trying to get into girls' OnlyFans years back, blah blah blah. Whatever. In all these years, it never got to me too much. I myself had plenty of pictures of anime men I found attractive, normal and NSFW. My belief has always been, these people aren't real. It doesn't matter. And to care about such a thing would make me hypocritical. He has always expressed that he had the same belief. And as for normal porn, it's not my thing. I'm a full-grown adult and something about real stuff with real people just makes me feel icky. I don't like it. However, within the past year or so, all the hype surrounding MW2, MW3 reminded me of my long-standing attraction to characters like Kruger, Ghost, Keegan, and you could add Koenig, even though he's not a main operator. All the men I know are rolling their eyes. I know. I can at least claim I didn't jump on the bandwagon in recent years like a lot of women, as I've been playing COD games since I was 10. The truth of it is, there's just something really attractive about men in uniform. Tactical gear, specifically. I used to hate when people said they liked men in uniform until I realized men in tactical gear, military gear, were the same thing. I'm an avid Warzone player. Well, more like was. We'd play together, and slowly he caught on, particularly to my attraction to Koenig. I'm an artist. No, I don't do NSFW art, but I drew one picture of him with his shirt off. I didn't think much of it. Both of us had multiple fictional characters we found attractive. Been that way for 9 years. Well, next thing I know, it became a whole point of contention in our relationship. Koenig looks nothing like me. I don't have big muscles like that. Comments like that were the start of it. My response was always something along the lines of, I loved him the way he is. Never once have I thought he's unattractive, or wished he looked like these men. And I look nothing like the myriad of fictional women he ogles and has NSFW pictures of, as well as I look absolutely nothing like the real-life women he watches, follows, likes, exed. He said it's different, and it's not like he's ever had sexual thoughts about these women. Eventually, he develops true anger on the topic, bombarding me with angry texts about how he can't compete with Koenig, minutes if not hour-long lectures about how being attracted to this type of thing isn't what adults do. This was further proof I wasn't a real responsible adult, eventually moving into telling me I am just like his degenerate incel friends who do nothing but work and then sit at home fantasizing about whatever it is they're into. I was completely blown away, continued questioning how our attractions were any different, but at the end of the day, I was just a childish degenerate, and his attractions were acceptable because he's a man, and he wants to be intimate more than I put out. So he has no choice but to look at or watch these things. We have an average to very active, intimate life. If it was up to him, we'd do it multiple times a day, but past situations have left me not as comfortable in an intimate space as he is. But that's a whole other story I won't get into here. This went on for weeks, to the point I'm not even sure how the conflict was resolved. We argued every day he came home from work, and then eventually it all finally stopped. I quit playing Warzone because even just playing the game made him visibly angry. I moved any pictures I had saved from other artists on my phone to the hidden folder so they wouldn't be in his face if he ever used my phone. I was still blown away and frankly annoyed and pissed off by the double standard. But frankly, the constant arguing over something so silly made me just move past it and decide it wasn't worth it, despite how unfair it felt. I didn't save new pictures, didn't play games that had characters he knew I found attractive, so on and so forth. While his habits stayed the same. He still had the X-ray wallpapers, saved lewd photos to his phone and computer. Reddit history stayed the same. I swallowed my frustration and moved on. In this time, he decided he wanted another kid. I agreed. I am now 8-9 months pregnant with our second child. I do not expect men to find pregnant women attractive. I don't. I hate being pregnant. I hate looking in the mirror. I constantly worry about how he perceives me. I apologize for looking pregnant. He assures me it's fine and he loves me, but then I see the porn he watches, the women he follows who all look nothing like me. He's Googling things like how much do BBLs cost. I saw he messaged some 19-year-old porn account on here with the emoji, which I know isn't a lot, but it gets the point of what he was thinking across. So now all I do is panic about how I look, hating being pregnant anymore. And I feel the anger boiling back up of, how is it any different than me, finding someone who doesn't exist attractive? I also realized he had gotten into my hidden folder and deleted any pictures I had of fictional characters. Not a big deal, really. Who knows how long ago he even did it, but I know if I did the same to him, he'd throw a fit, or at the very least give me another hour-long lecture. I'm a childish degenerate for finding made-up men attractive because they look nothing like him, and imagine how that makes him feel. But he has every excuse and reason under the sun as to why he can follow, watch, and I suppose now even message these very real women who look nothing like me, especially now that I'm pregnant with the kid he asked for. And if I were to ask him the same question, how do you think that makes me feel? He would give me the reason of he basically has to look at it. Because we aren't as intimate as he'd like. Like I said in the beginning, this is so childish. I know it is. But the frustration and anger is very real. The double standards men give around porn and such things infuriates me, considering there is no logical reasoning behind it. It's rules for thee but not for me. I don't know what I even expect people to say, but for the love of God, I needed to get it off my chest in some way, as I know there is zero reason at all to bring this topic up to him. All I know is I'm ready to get this baby out of me, and someone needs to tell me how soon you're allowed to start working out postpartum. Top comment. Unfortunately, you are both approaching this from different angles. You are trying to be fair and consistent, and he is trying to win. Not actually winning, because we can all see how much of a loser he is, but he is winning in his dominance of the discourse. Men like this need to be pushed back against early, while shaming is still possible. At this point, he is clearly off the deep end, and is all the worst stereotypes of a whiny, porn-obsessed, controlling, and abusive partner. The most confusing combination of weird personality traits. You should reevaluate your relationship as if you were looking on a friend situation, not your own, to gain perspective.